Yo guys, what's going on? It's Rose here, bringing you guys a brand new video here, back for another draft league, and I'm super excited to tell you guys that we are back in the WPF once again in the Delta Division. This time, however, it's a little different. We are going to be doing VGC in Pokemon Champions. I'm very excited for this. I cannot wait to get started on this. At the time of recording this, my first match is in like 2 days, so I'm very excited, of course. And we have a very fun team, and I'm very excited for it. For the most part, this is going to be very similar to how previous WPF seasons are ran. There's actually 2 draft pools in this season this time, so it's going to be a little different. But not too different, because you really only fight the people that are in your pool, and then you fight one person from the other, from how I've seen it. So, regardless, I mean, the budget is pretty much the same. You get 110 points to pick up to 11 Pokemon. You can pick pretty much anything. You can actually pick 2 Mega Pokemon. We're fighting with Megas this time as well, which is super exciting, because obviously with Champions, we have all the Megas back from, previous games pretty much, and a lot of the new ones as well. So very excited for that. And I think we have a very fun team. So without further ado, let's get started. We actually had the 3rd overall pick, and there was a lot of options on the board for me. I could have gone with something that just gives me raw power straight out the gate. I could have gone with something that, whether it's like a good physical attacker, a good special attacker, one of the more meta picks, whether it's like Mega Floette, I think was still on the board, Mega Charizard Y was still on the board. I didn't take any of those. I took a mon that gives me some more utility, and is still one of the better mons in ladder right now, and just kind of the meta in general, is very, very good, and that is going to be Whimsicott. Now, obviously, of course, Whimsicott is not this like end-all be-all amazing mon, but in doubles and in VGC, this thing's actually kind of a demon with Tailwind support, Sunny Day support. We have Helping Hand as well, Encore. We have a ton of different things that we can do with this mon. It's a pretty easy sash bait mon, just because it's a mon that like really appreciates a good sash. So that's something we can always take into account. So this is probably for the most part going to be a sash sink for us this season, which of course you don't want to be super predictable. So, there might be times here and there where we have to, get a little creative and run something a little bit different. But regardless, this one's very, very good. Grass and Fairy Stab for the most part is really solid against a lot of the meta. And having the ability to, boost up my Pokemon's speed, or give him a little bit of extra boost on the offensive side with Helping Hand, I think it gives this mon a lot of promise in this format, and I'm very excited to use it. A mon that I decided to pair it up with is going to be Mega Frostlass. I was very surprised that it made it back to me in the 2nd round, just because I feel like Mega Frostlass is one of the better, just hard-hitting mons in the format right now. It hits super, super hard, of course, just having that massive special attack stat. I believe 140 special attack stat. Ice and Ghost is very, very free into most of the metagame. You also have access to things like Aurora Veil, which is super nice, getting Freeze Dry, things like that. Spikes, if I wanted to run a little bit of hazards here and there, that's something I can take into account as well. But a huge speed tier, a huge special attacker. This is a mon that just rips through teams from the get-go, and I'm very excited to use it. Next up, we took a mon that is also very, very good in the meta, and that I'm actually pretty comfortable using, because I've actually been playing a lot of champions myself in my free time. And so being able to kind of learn VGC a little bit has, I think, helped me a lot in terms of how I wanted to play this. So without further ado, my 3rd pick is for Farigiraf, another mon fantastic in the meta right now. This mon is a demon. Having access to Armor Tail is an amazing ability, so no fake out, no nothing like that, which is fantastic. Which I believe it also blocks Prankster moves as well, because of the fact that there's no priority. So that's also a really cool option for the potential Sableye matchup later down in the line, because Sableye is really, really annoying in general. But Farigiraf is fantastic. It's a great Trick Roomer, a great Helping Hand mon, but it also has a really good good offensive stats, good decent move pool. There's a lot of different things that this mon can do, and I'm very excited to see how it works into this team. I think it fits really, really well with what we're trying to do here, and I cannot wait to show you guys what the rest of this team is. Next up, in the 4th round, I wanted something that gave me a little bit more of a power boost, but also at the same time allowed me to kind of have some freedom in the same aspect. So we're going to grab a Volcarona here. And Volcarona, a very, very solid mon in the format in general. Getting access to Tailwind, getting access to Rage Powder as well is really nice, because now we have the first redirector of the team. Getting access to Quiver Dance, Heat Waves, things like that. This is a very, very, very scary mon. I don't know if I said Tailwind, but Tailwind, Helping Hand as well. Like, there's a lot of different things that this mon can do. It's a really nice, it has 2 really good abilities in both Flame Body and Flash Fire, so whether I want to run Flame Body to catch a Fake Out Mon off guard, or potentially running Flash Fire if there's like a Arcanine that's going to be a big problem for us, or the Incineroar matchup potentially. I can switch out something like the Mega Frostlass and bring in something like Volcarona. Now, of course, I have to be wary of the knockoff, but that is something that I can take advantage of potentially as well. But no, honestly, Volcarona is an amazing mon. We used it in KCDL, and it was a demon for us. Obviously, that, you know, we had Terra in that respect, and obviously in Champions Wi-Fi, there is no Terra, there's no Z moves, there's no nothing like that. It's just Megas and base mons. But even still, Volcarona is kind of a monster. Fire and Bug hits a lot of the meta for at least neutral, if not super effective, and it's going to do very, very solid into a lot of the teams that we have here. Obviously, Rain is something that I'm going to have to take into account. Rain is weather in general is really, really good in VGC right now, and so having to deal with that, obviously Volcarona doesn't want to deal with that too well, but I still think this mon is going to be very solid for us in the long run. Next up, I wanted to grab a mon that may have had some utility, but is really just here to click some fucking buttons. We're grabbing Hydreigon. I love Hydreigon. This is one of my favorite mons from my favorite generation as well. I can't wait to use it. I'm super excited. I've really not used, I don't think I really used it in Gen 9 really at all. Maybe once or twice here and there, but for the most part, it stayed off the board for me. And this mon is an absolute fucking demon. Getting access to hard-hitting Dracos, Dark Pulses, all that. Getting access to some other moves too that we can kind of take advantage of later. I can be random physical or special because of Dragon Dance, and my decent physical attack as well. This mon hits super, super hard. It's a really nice pairing for something like a Whimsicott, because then I can set up that Tailwind for Hydreigon and then just start ripping holes into teams. So super fun. Or even too, just run Choice Scarf Hydreigon next to Helping Hand Whimsicott, and then I can really start ripping into teams as well. There's very, very, very few things I want to switch into, you know, Dragon and Dark. There's only a handful of, like, really good fairy types in this game, and I have one of them already on the team, so hopefully I can take advantage of that really nicely here. Next up, we're grabbing one of my favorite mons in general, but also something that I've been using on the VGC ladder in Champions a lot, so I do know this mon pretty well and what it can and cannot do. We are grabbing Mega Camerupt. My boy is here. I'm so excited. I love Mega Camerupt, and this thing hits like an absolute truck. Partially because under Trick Room, this mon just nukes teams. Eruption is very, very hard to switch into. Even Resists take like 30 or 40% from a Helping Hand boosted Eruption, if not more. I've seen as high as like 80% into certain Resist mons. It's absolutely insane. I've never really seen a mon like this. Fire and Ground hits basically the entire meta for super effective and neutral. And obviously the meta is going to be a little bit different from what's in this draft league this season. But regardless, Mega Camerupt is still a huge, huge, huge threat. Getting access to Sheer Force as well, so Heat Waves and Earth Powers and stuff do even more damage. This is going to be an absolute demon, and I cannot wait to use it in this league. I loved it. I love it so much on the ladder, and I'm excited to see how it works in the Champions Draft League. Next up, we've got Crabominable coming up. I've actually never used Crabominable, I don't believe, so definitely excited to use it. I think it's another mon that's really, really good under Trick Room here, and I actually, so originally this was not the pick. I did originally pick Infernape, but I had 3 fire types at that point with Infernape, and I knew that I can kind of fill the gap of what Infernape was doing with other mons, so that I ended up dropping Infernape for this plus a couple of other mons, which you'll see here in a little bit. But Crabominable, I think, is a super, super underrated mon, especially paired with my Mega Frostlass. Getting that defense boost from the snow is a super vital piece for me, just because otherwise, I mean, it's not like Crabominable is the bulkiest thing in the world, but it hits super, super hard, has like a 134 physical attack stat, getting Iron Fist, which boosts most of the moves that I'm going to run, because it's like whether I want to run like Drain Punch, Ice Hammer, the Elemental Punches, anything like that, they're all boosted by Iron Fist, which is fantastic. And getting the defense boost, this thing's going to be an absolute demon. I cannot wait to just start knocking shit apart with this mon. I think it's going to be really funny, and I cannot wait. Next up, another mon that I'm very excited to use because I think it's going to be very, very solid for us. We're grabbing Meowstic Male. So we do obviously have to specify which Meowstic we're going to use. I didn't realize that when I drafted this thing. For whatever reason, I thought I was getting both. I don't know why. I couldn't find the female one on the board, so I just thought that it was both for some reason. But regardless, we're getting Meowstic Male out of this because of Prankster. Prankster is an absolute game changer in a lot of things. We already have one in Whimsicott, but now we have a secondary one with Meowstic, and this mon can kind of fit the gap that Whimsicott lacks. Whereas Meowstic here, it can be a primarily like screen setter. It can set up for some other things as well, which I'm not going to get into, just because I do have some tricks up my sleeve for later in the season. This thing can actually help us win games in ways that we probably wouldn't have been able to win before. So I think it's really, really interesting. I do like Meowstic as a mon itself, so I am very excited to use it. This is another mon I don't believe I've used. There's a lot of things on here that I've never used before. Obviously, some of these newer ones, like Mega Frostlass, for example, it's brand new, so I've not used it yet. But I am very excited to use it regardless. I think Meowstic's a really solid mon. Prankster is very scary. Having access to a ton of coverage and utility moves for this team is really, really nice. And I cannot wait to see what it does for us the rest of the season. Next up, we grabbed Alchemy. I'm super excited to use Alchemy. I think this mon is an absolute demon. There's a lot of things that you guys don't know about this mon that I don't want to divulge into too much, just because there's a lot of things that I'm expecting to use it for, and I don't want to divulge that information quite yet. But obviously, of course, one of the biggest things that it's known for, realistically, in doubles, is a move called Decorate, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it raises the attack and special attack stat of the target by 2 stages, which is a huge boost. That's literally doubling, those stats. And this mod, alongside of that, gets Helping Hand. So it's like this thing can really help us win games, whether it's helping Hydreigon becoming just more of a threat, or helping Mega Camerupt under Trick Room, stuff like that. There's a lot of things that this mod can do that I'm very excited to use it for. Next up, we grabbed a mon. Then these next 2 mons here are also part of the pickups that we did from dropping Infernape. We have Simisage here. Simisage is definitely a weird one, but for 1 point, it actually provides me with a lot of utility. Fake Out, which is something my team lacks at this point, and then also getting some extra Helping Hand and some other moves here and there that it's going to be using that I'm excited to use. I think this mon can actually be pretty decent, and for 1 point, honestly, I can't really complain about the value. It's got good value for 1 point. Good speed tier, okay attacking stats, decent utility. It's got some stuff. It's got some stuff going on. So I'm super excited to do that this season. And then last but certainly not least, like I said, another mon from that drop with the Infernape. We're grabbing Feraligatr, not the Mega Feraligatr, because just regular Gator is low-key better. This mon is an absolute demon. It's not super fast, so under Trick Room, there's actually a chance that this is actually a cool one, because it's like it can function both in Trick Room and in Tailwind. Because it's not super fast, so it being in Trick Room means that it can still outpace some of the faster mons under that respect. And then obviously Tailwind does the same thing. It's going to be better under Tailwind, of course, but it's not a bad option under Trick Room. So like next to Farigiraf or something like that, I can get like maybe a free Swords Dance off or something like that and start ripping through teams. Who knows? Get those Sheer Force boosted liquidations and stuff. Get some different stuff going on. I think this is a very solid team. It's definitely going to be one of those teams that maybe isn't the best on paper, but I think once you really dive into it and really look at the mons individually and how they kind of mesh together, this is gonna be a very fun team and very solid, I think, as well. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this draft analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed me kind of going over this team really fast, and I hope to see you guys in week 1 for the WPF. Peace out.